promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equals. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
Nation, what up, guys? It's your boy DTLF back with another pregame live stream. And very, very excited, man. Extremely excited to announce that Russell Westbrook will be finally coming off the bench. How you doing, Bridget? What's up, Brian? Justice, everybody's here, man. What's up, Angel? Good to see you all, man. A lot of things to talk about today because, yes, we are facing the Kings in the preseason finale. So we're going to take a lot away from this game and then assess, post-game, we're going to assess, our take on how the team looks and whatnot. But brand new starting lineup tonight. No Russell Westbrook, all right? It was reported earlier. Plumber came over. There was a leak in the kitchen, so I had to get that fixed, and I couldn't go live when I wanted to, right when the news broke. But there's good news and bad news. The good news is that, obviously, Russell Westbrook to the bench. The bad news, Anthony Davis, Lonnie Walker, both out for precautionary reasons, right? Both will definitely play in the season opener, so that is the good news. But, I do want to talk about that first. What do you guys feel about AD, man? I'm starting to get concerned. I'm usually very high spirit about it, given the benefit of the doubt. But this back problem, he's played half of the preseason games only. And this is coming off of a lengthy offseason for us where he said he was 100%. So, yeah, I don't like this back tightening up issues. But, hey, if he's healthy and he's ready to go, I'll be excited for Tuesday. My boy Alex, thanks for the super chat, bro. He said if Westbrook starts versus Golden State, it's a wrap, man. Well, I do. I'm going to dive right into that right now. What's up, T? Tasia says, yes, great news. We have to explore every option so that Pelinka in the front office knows he has to go. I agree, Tasia. He could very much be on his last legs. If it doesn't work out, his body language still off, there will be, stronger repercussions for sure. So, Tony, yes, absolutely. Hit that like button. But I'm excited, man. I'm in high spirits today because Darvin Ham is proving to be very much so worthy. Remember, I did have a mini rant video about not liking Russell Westbrook's fit with the starting lineup and his body language, and right away coach went ahead and this is what he said. He said it's not a demotion, it's a realignment. And he also added that Russ has had a good attitude about it. He said whatever you need, coach. So that is the good news. But let's see if he buys in long term, because they're still leaving the door open for him to potentially be a starter still. So let's just hope that oh man, I'm really excited. Thanks Ben. Ben24, appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much, bro, for the super chat. But like I was saying, it's a good chance we get a decent look at a brand new starting lineup. Now we are going with some size, so that is really exciting, right? According to let me see if I find it. Oh yeah, Dan Woke. He said LeBron, Pat Bev, and Damian Jones are all starters tonight. The other spots we'll figure it out. So I am anxious to see who those other spots will become. And who do you guys think should be the starting lineup? No Russ. Again, they're going to try him off the bench. According to them, they're trying to stagger the minutes between LeBron and Russ, which I think is so much better. So much better. Do you think Russ is being benched because of the videos that have been surfacing? Probably not. He's most likely being benched because he's not fitting in with the first unit, which we already knew that. We already knew that the floor spacing was suspect. I've been saying I wanted Patrick Beverley to start with Austin Reeves, LeBron, AD, and a big man. But tonight might be, a glimpse into the future. If it works out properly tonight versus the Kings, then maybe we'll roll out whatever starts tonight. Now, unfortunately, again, Dennis Schroeder, I want to talk about him because he had a finger injury in which sources tell that Dennis Schroeder did not travel with the Lakers preseason game in Sacramento. Shams Shanara reports, and he's also going to continue to be evaluated with the finger injury. Here's the scary part. The Lakers do have some worry that this could be a long-term injury for him. So Dennis, not only not with the team tonight, but also it could be a lingering injury. So that's never good. You don't want to start with injuries at all. Purple and Gold, appreciate you, man, for the super chat. Bro says, Ham getting Westbrook to buy in on the bench is fire. Well, we will see. Verbally, he's been saying a lot of things. He also said that, he's cool with his teammates and all of that. But the proof is in the pudding, man. Actions speak louder than words. We need to see what Russ looks like tonight versus the Kings off the bench. Is he aggressive? Is he looking like disinterested? Like a lot of question marks still on this team. And coach said that they haven't closed the door on him starting. So don't get too excited yet, Laker Nation, but it is a start, man. I did mention the very last video that he needed to take a slice of that humble pie, which means, being benched. A lot of people didn't think it was possible, but here it is, man. Darvin Ham proving a lot of people wrong, because right away he's being benched on the final preseason game, and hopefully, this will be, something that continues to move forward with. We'll see how this lineup responds. And again, we're missing players: Lonnie Walker, AD, no Russ. All right, so those are the players that are missing, and of course, no Troy Brown Jr., who we haven't really seen him. He said, it makes no sense benching Russ, bro. They better off just sending him home. He's a cancer to the team, period. It makes sense benching Russ, because if he buys in to that bench role, I mean, I've always said I much prefer him being one of the primary options off the bench than starting. And I would definitely stagger LeBron's minutes with him, because they both need the ball in their hands to be effective at all. So, getting off to a better start, probably a better defensive start due to Russ not being in the lineup and him being a liability defensively. And to be honest, at this stage of his career, sometimes he's a liability offensively as well. And you limit turnovers to start the game. It could set the tone early, and then later on, you try to incorporate him as best as possible. But again, this could be the beginning of the end for him. So we'll see. If he buys in and he looks good off the bench, then that could be a good thing for him. Maybe he stays the rest of the year. If he does not, I think that the front office and the coaching staff are looking at everything. And again, Woj reporting that, hey, Lakers might start, picking up the trade conversations again. And if you put the pieces of the puzzle together, first he hits the bench, and then he hits the trade block, he might be shipped out of here sooner than later. Hollywood Dan, that's funny. What's up, guys? Hey, Justin, what's up, brother? Big salute from Montreal, Canada. Salute to Canada, bro. T says, that shirt, though. Thank you so much, T. Yes, Black Mamba represented all day. Appreciate you. This could be the start of the end for Russ, hopefully. Well, let's see how he reciprocates off the bench. I'm really curious to see what lineup we rolling out. That I think is really important. He said, God is good, one step closer. It's sad, man. Listen, I'm not rooting for him to fail, but if he doesn't buy into the team, I'm all about the team. And Laker Nation, we are all about the team first. And so he needs to buy into that. If not, yeah, I can see that happening. But again, there's a lot of variables to this team that still haven't been figured out. The fact that we're going big after, being destroyed in small ball the previous game is good on the coach. It's a good look, right? LeBron, Pat Bev, and Damian Jones will start. Again, no AD. So that does make me wonder if, hey, maybe when AD comes back, they go back to small ball, playing him at the 5. But I don't know, man. I hope that Damian Jones or Thomas Bryant start alongside Anthony Davis come Tuesday, season opener. Very excited for the season opener. He said, what's good, Dan? He said, listen, I'm not giving up on AD, but I'm feeling LaMarcus Aldridge vibes on him. Am I wrong? I don't want to speculate early, man. I'm gonna wait to see how he does this season, right? Everybody's saying it's just for precaution, so all right. I am getting a bit concerned, though, because he's missed half of the preseason games, and he's in his prime. He's 20. What is he, 29 or 30? He might have just turned 30. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's in his prime. And so I want to, even in preseason, I want to see him. Call me petty or whatever. But listen, at the end of the day, I want to see good basketball consistently and a stable rotation. Now, coach still hasn't found his rotation. I really don't want this changing of lineups to continue to leak into the regular season, because that could impact our consistency. He said, OC checking in. What's up, Lee? Big ups, Dan. Love the show from Panama. That's so cool, man. What up, D? Is the Lakers should pick up Derek Favors or Kemba Walker off waivers? No, Kemba Walker. Please, no more guards, man. Listen, we got one too many. We got a plethora of guards on the roster. I don't think we need no more guards. Derek Favors on the other side, I say yes, because he's a big body, and you can never have too many of those. Max says, DTLF, if only Stank Vogel had the guts to bench Westbrook last season. I'm saying, right, we're getting off to a good start with Darvin, but he still has his work cut out for him. There's still a couple of things he needs to do still on this team, like figure out his rotations, his bench rotations as well. Overall, to start defining roles sooner rather than later. And I understand that the injuries have prevented that this preseason, but no excuses. Come regular season, I want some consistency from the lineups. And I want some good results as well. We don't just want consistent losing. We want lineups that are going to work and give us the best opportunity to win ball games, right? Now, we played the Sacramento Kings tonight. It's a good test. We already got, we got 30 piece by them. I was at the game. But, they're young, hungry, and they got some talent. So it's obviously every single preseason game is a good test and a good measuring stick. As long as we got LeBron out there with Pat Bev, we should have a shot, right? We definitely have a shot. But I want to see what role players step up tonight. Kendrick Nunn, I'd love to see another big game. That would complete 3 total big games from him this preseason, and that'll be huge. Yep. All right. So let's see what the update is on the starting lineup. Let's see. Let's just to confirm. Let's give you guys confirmation. I still don't have it. I'm waiting on Mike Trudell's update. Maybe somebody else has it, but yeah, I'm still waiting on the starting lineup confirmation. Hey, Dan, I'm listening while grocery shopping. Let's go leg show. Appreciate you, Nia. Much love. I appreciate that. Hi from North Korea. Dang, we got it. Man, that's awesome. Worldwide Laker fans everywhere. Love it. AD is 29. Thanks, Eric. Dan, AD not end up like Greg Oden? No. Let's not put that on AD. Listen, Greg Oden, unfortunately, his body didn't even hold up for the NBA season, right? He was a beast in college, but in Ohio State. But, man, unfortunately, yeah, his body was just not made for the NBA. That's unfortunate, because he was a great talent in college. Big fan of Greg Oden in college. Him and Mike Conley were destroying for Ohio State. He said, Mo will not help unless he's with the lineup. He said, without Westbrook or one of the bigs starting, he can't shoot at all. He said, Dan, no more small ball. We signed bigs for a reason. I agree, Jason. But Coach is sounding like he's a very big fan of small ball, unfortunately. That is a problem there, Jason Black. But listen, if it works, I'm with it. But if it doesn't work, I want to see adjustments. That's all. That's all I got to say on that matter. How long will Schröder be out? They're going to reevaluate him. He didn't even travel with the team, though, so that's definitely not a good sign. You want to see him on the sidelines. He said, do you think that some of our players lack defensive intensity and defensive skill that you're born with or can develop that skill? No, I think actually this year we're a lot more athletic, and there's a lot of players with defensive instincts. Obviously, you got Pat Bev, Austin Reeves. You got some of the younger players like Max Christie. Thomas Bryant gets after it, so does Damian Jones. It's all about discipline, though, not biting on all the up fakes, communicating with each other, switching properly off the screens and sometimes fighting through those screens when you don't want to get those mismatches on the switches. It's the little things, right? It's the little things. What's the perfect Westbrook lineup when AD and Bron rest? All right. So, listen, there's no perfect Westbrook lineup unless Westbrook makes it work, right? That's what I got to say about that. But what I can say about the whole situation is that, listen, it's going to depend on his attitude, right? It's going to really depend on his attitude to see, excuse me, if this is going to work. Because at the end of the day, Russ is still capable of being a very serviceable player. But listen, this is what I would, if I'm Darvin Ham, this is what I start the season with, right? This is my first unit, my bench, and my spotty minute, third stringer players that'll get, minutes depending on injuries or if needed be for matchup purposes. I also tweeted this online. All right, my first unit, Patrick Bev and Austin Reeves in the backcourt for defense. LeBron James, obviously at the small forward, natural position. AD at the 4 because I don't want him getting injured. Due to his injury history, I don't want him guarding the 5s all season long. And then we're going to get Thomas Bryant at the 5. That's my starting 5. Sound off whether you disagree or agree. That's fine. And then the bench, Westbrook at the 1. Kendrick Nunn at the 2, Lonnie Walker at the 3 off the bench, with Wenyen Gabriel at the 4. Yes, he's won me over. He's played extremely hard and efficient basketball. And then Damian Jones at the 5. And then the spotty minutes players will be Call of Duty Dennis, Troy Brown Jr., and whoever else is left, right? Sometimes you're going to need shooters, so you get in Cole Swider. Sometimes you'll need Matt Ryan if he makes the roster. So those guys will get the spotty minutes, in my opinion. But that is my starting and my bench unit. Feel free to sound off in the comment section whether you agree or disagree. I do want to hear Lakers Nation's opinion. He said, Dan, Padres are up 1-0 on my Dodgers. Oh, man. In the second. Yeah, that's tough, man. I don't know what the Dodgers are doing. They dominated all season long. Now they got to show up in the postseason. So wake up, Dodgers. Let's go. Genie said in an interview that AD will stay only if he stays healthy and listens to experts on how he treats his body. I haven't seen that interview yet, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this year is going to be a make it or break it season for our good old pal Anthony Davis. Let's not forget he's a champion, though. Let's definitely not forget he's a champion and a champion caliber player. So if he's healthy, he's going to wreak havoc. And at the end of the day, that's what we want from our guy, man. We want him to wreak havoc, you know. Joseph, thanks for the Cash App, bro. Said Blake Snell striking out Dodgers. Are Dodgers out? That sucks, bro. That's bad news. That's a bad Cash App. I do appreciate it. He said, I can see Bryant playing that Steven Adams role for Russ. Look, Thomas Bryant, man, he's no Steven Adams. Obviously, Steven Adams is stronger and more stable as a big man. But what Thomas Bryant can do is he'll always give you effort, no matter what. And he'll rim run. He'll catch easy passes. He has good hands to finish around the basket, soft touch. He can space a little bit. So that's why I like him with the starting unit. But most likely, it's looking like Damian Jones is going to be Darvin Ham's guy, which I'm okay with as long as it works, right? Marcus, thanks so much for Super Chat, bro. He said, actually, most of AD's injuries are at power forward, mostly by ankle rolls or accidents, like someone falling on him. Yes, but when you play the center position, you're manning the paint. What happens is you're going to go up against some big bodies, especially if you're guarding them, right? Because there's not enough big men out there if you're going small ball. That's my concern. I mean, he was already grabbing his hip. He's been having back injuries already early on, back tightness and all that. So I don't want him doing the dirty work. And it is positioned as basketball at the end of the day, but at least on the defensive end, I want either TB or Damian Jones down there guarding the Joel Embiids of the world, right? Those type of guys. That way, my guy AD can stay fresh for the offensive end. And again, he can come from the weak side, get some blocks, crash, help crash the glass and all that good stuff. But anytime you have a player like AD who's been injury prone lately, you have to protect him at all costs, right? If there was bubble wrap you can wrap around your players, AD would be the guy you want to protect. But unfortunately, there's not. So we have to play, we have to play smart. He said, can't believe people were defending Russ of what happened the last game. Yeah, the stand culture sometimes is toxic, right? Sometimes it's cool. I mean, I don't mind you having, you being fans of a player, but it's a lot better and better for your health if you're fans of a whole team, because what happens a lot of time is like when a parent has a favorite child, they won't admit it, but they'll treat the favorite child better and the other children will see, right? And what I mean by that is you're oblivious to the facts. Like if that child is a thief, if that child is a liar, if he's whatever he is, and that's your favorite child, you're not going to see the truth. Like they'll be telling, the other adults will be telling, hey, listen, this child is a problem. And you're going to be oblivious to the fact. Well, that's what a lot of stan culture is like to me, is like, they don't like to criticize their favorite players because it's their favorite. And that's the problem. And then I'm not sure I can call you a basketball fan if you can't be objective about everybody. And we all have favorites. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my favorite is hanging. You see that big ass poster back there, right? So look, at the end of the day, it's all about just trying to be realistic. You can have a favorite, but if somebody critiques him and it's fair criticism based on the evidence from last season and what's going on now, and obviously him getting benched, it's not nothing, then just be real, man. Keep it real with yourself, because you're not lying to me. Listen, I see the truth. You're just lying to yourself. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and say, okay, maybe Russ does need to take a slice. He needs to take a chill pill or a slice of the humble pie a little bit and all of that, right? So that's what I need, man, from any player fan out here. Just hold your favorite players accountable too, and you'll see that basketball is a lot better to enjoy than when you're, ignorant to the fact, right? You're like that parent that spoils their favorite child. Like you're ignorant to the facts around you, and everybody's looking at you crazy. So yeah, stan culture is tough, man. He said Westbrook stands are the worst, but at least they are loyal. I'm not sure that's a good thing, man. Again, some people in the Titanic that sank with the ship, they were loyal. They were playing the instruments while the ship was going down. It's like, bro, look for a life raft, get off the boat now. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. It's better to be loyal to the franchise, though. Better, through thick and thin. He said, I'll give Russ a shot at running the bench. I hope he gets it going so we can keep those picks and trade him without being desperate. Look, man, if Russ wants to continue to prolong his career, it's in his best interest to come in to this season with the best of attitudes. That means when they huddle up, you huddle up with the team. That means when everybody's over there in the pregame rituals, you're not out on the sideline wiping away the sweat and walking away. We want to see you there with the huddle. We want to see you with the team. And people will say, well, Dan, you guys are overreacting, or you guys are just hating. He's always done that in his career. That's the problem, is that he's always been separate from the team his career. So he needs to make sure, like if our team leader LeBron is doing it, AD, our 2 team captains, you got to do it too, bro. No more excuses. All right, no more excuses. He said, if AD rests one game and plays the other, he will play at least 30 plus games this season. Stop it. It shouldn't be that bad, man. Hopefully not. Knock on wood, but it shouldn't be that bad. He said, and he has been traded in 4 years for a reason. Yeah, he hasn't been able to fit anywhere. You gotta find your niche and fit, man. That's the bottom line. So I'm fine with this if it means that it results in a more efficient offense, because I still believe he's going to remain the starter to start the year off, but it will be interesting to see what this looks like. Yeah, I'm interested to see what this looks like too. And this is what it's all about. See, I wanted a coach that had the goal, right? He had the balls to go out here and make the tough decisions, right? It's not an easy decision to tell a Hall of Famer, top 75 player, triple-double machine, whatever you want to label him, to go up to him and be like, hey, man, listen, I think we're going to need you to come off the bench. It's not working with the starting group, but, you might be the primary focal point coming off the bench. To be able to tell him that is hard. It's not easy. Nobody, he said it's not a demotion. It's more of a realignment. I mean, listen, you got to reach in his bag when it comes to his verbiage, because you got to make it sound as nice as possible. But all it is whatever, facts over feelings. He's living by that. So I'll give him credit. And again, he's keeping Russ's hope alive by saying the right things, like the door's not closed on him starting. We just want to try different things out. So that'll keep him motivated, hopefully, if he still cares about winning. If not, then we will see the results, right? He said, Dan, what's good? First time in 15 years, Russ finally benched. Let's go. I'm more excited by the fact that Darvin has done everything he has said in his, conference when we hired him, when the Lakers hired him. He's kept his promises so far. He's tried different things out. He's gave everybody an equal opportunity, equal shot, and he's trying different things out. So that gets me really excited, even more so than Russ being benched, is the fact that, hey, listen, it sets an example to the team. Listen, even our star players are going to be held accountable, right? Russ is being held accountable. So if you're Kendrick Nunn, Lonnie Walker, you got to step up your game, because you can fall out of the rotation as well, right? So you got to love it, man. It's all about consistency as a coach, and he'll also hold AD and LeBron accountable, of course. But everybody else falls in line when that happens. Purple and Gold, appreciate you, man. Thanks for super chat. He said, love AD. That 2020 run was one of the best playoff runs by one player in history. He should have gotten Finals MVP, in my opinion. I'm not saying Bron didn't deserve it, though. Yeah, that could have went either way. I always said, that championship in 2020 was not only one of the hardest to win, but it was very divisive. Like, a lot of people said, yeah, AD deserves it. Some people said LeBron, but I wasn't mad either way, because they were like 1A and 1B, right? They were both the number one options at times. So, I love the way they played. They came together at the right time, and they won this one, man, for the city, for Kobe, for everybody. So, very excited. To get that version of Anthony Davis back would be phenomenal, right? And I believe in him. I already picked up AD for game one of the season in Prize Pick, so I'm already starting to put down my own money, put my money where my mouth is. I believe AD is going to come out and have a monster game versus Golden State, because they don't have nobody that can hold him. If AD brings his A game to Golden State on ring night, we're going to walk out of there with a W, right? You heard it here first. But if he doesn't, right, if he settles for the turnaround jump shots and their shots not falling, and he starts playing weak instead of getting strong down low, then it could be a long night. But Anthony Davis is that guy, right? He can easily take the reins from LeBron if he wants to, right? But of course, he needs to protect his body, and he needs to be careful at the same time, play with fearlessness, right? It's a balance he's going to have to find. I don't want him. The thing that bothers me about AD is that any little bump, and I think it's the flopping. It kind of became a staple over the years from most players. But anything, my man is over here diving like a penguin on the floor. And I don't like that, see, because you actually risk bigger injury when that happens, right? So, yeah, let's just hope he's safe, but he plays his heart out at the same time. It's a tough ask, but, he's somebody who could do it. Hi, Dan. Where can I watch the game? Keep up the good work. Proud of you. Thanks, Sherry. You know what? Unfortunately, I don't have links anymore. I tried to hand out a couple of links and they didn't work. But you know, I'm sure you could always ask around. You can ask around. Hopefully, somebody hooks you up with a good link. I appreciate you. Thank you for the compliment. Jennifer says, and the Pistons is waving Kemba Walker. Do you think the Lakers should pick him up? No, no more guards. Please, no more guards. I'm traumatized. Like, I feel like Smush Parker might come out of retirement and the Lakers might pick him up because they might want to play him at center on the small ball. You know, I'm joking. But yeah, no more guards for me. I'm actually more interested in Derek Favors, who also got cut, right? Guys like that who could play tough in the paint. Those are the guys you need to get for sure, right? In my opinion. In my opinion. He said Schroeder getting injured is a blessing in disguise. We have too many guards in the rotation. No, nobody getting injured. I mean, I can see what you mean because we do have a lot of guards, but you want to see the team healthy. That way we know what we have to work with. Who knows? Maybe Schroeder becomes a candidate when his contract becomes tradable around December, right? Late December, early January. So I understand what you're saying, and obviously you're not wishing injury on nobody. But as far as a blessing in disguise, I think we need to see our full healthy roster so we know how to evaluate them a little bit better, right? NBA TV, if you don't get the pass, you can pay $5.99. The only thing, Tasia, is if you live out here in the West Coast, you know, the local games are blocked by the cable companies. So, but I'm sure there's a way around it. I don't know it, but I've heard that, you know, maybe you can change your location or whatever. But it's not fair. I feel like, you know, anybody should be able to buy any game from anywhere. But of course, them cable providers want to get paid. You know, they want your money. So if you stay out here, like in Los Angeles, and your region might be black. There you go. Somebody say use VPN. His words, not mine. He said, "Dang, Dan, you just answered my question on Favors." I didn't even see your question, brother, but I'm glad I answered it. Definitely glad I answered it. He said, you find out how to watch the game if you have ESPN Plus app. It's located at every bottom when you click on the game. Okay, hey, we appreciate all the advice for anybody out here trying to get the games, you know. He said Derek Favors used to be a bruiser. He plays hard and is not afraid to sacrifice his body on offense and rebounds, but not sure if he is the same now. You know, it might be a risk they're willing to take. Again, like you said, big bodies are welcome on the Lakers because we need guys that can do the dirty work. We don't want Anthony Davis doing that dirty work, right? Starters are Reeves, Bev, Christie, LeBron, and DJ. Okay. Wow. So that's interesting. You know, we got a completely different starting lineup than what I expected. So again, coach, whatever he sees, I trust him, but yeah, so that's the starting lineup. Austin Reeves, Patrick Beverley. That's the backcourt I want, by the way. That backcourt right there, I hope it works out tonight and coach sees what I see in the future. I've been calling for this backcourt since the offseason. Since we acquired Beverley, I'm like, we could use Beverley and Austin Reeves in the backcourt. Max Christie, who I'm starting to feel like maybe coach is really high on his defense. He might actually get some valuable minutes. He's started a couple games already. And then LeBron James and Damian Jones. Again, it's kind of small ball though. So I'm not a fan of that because, you know, I would have started, you know, Wenyen Gabriel at the 4. Instead of Max Christie, I would have put LeBron at the 3 and Damian Jones at the center. But I'm not mad at this starting lineup. It's very defensive. All those guys can switch. And I think, like I said, it might be a really good sign for Max Christie's future that coach is already trusting him with this many starts, you know, this early in his career. Like, I didn't expect that. So, again, coach surprising me already. He said, Dan, thoughts on Matt Ryan? Well, I feel like he's one good shooting game away from securing a roster spot. He didn't have a good shooting game last game, but he has a shot if he plays tonight to make up for that. Because you know what? He showed that one game, you know, had he been a proven NBA player, or, you know, that has already put in the work in the league, that one game would have secured the roster spot. But since he's still unproven and he's been kind of somewhat of a G League journeyman, you know, they want to see more from him. So, I'm rooting for the kid, man. I like a good underdog story, and this guy is definitely that. He's definitely an underdog story. But what do you guys think of this starting lineup? Again, if you guys just tuning in, Austin Reeves, Patrick Beverley, Max Christie, LeBron James, and Damian Jones. Okay, coach. Go on now. Say, hey, Dan, if Matt Ryan shoots great tonight, would you be willing to take a risk on him, giving him the last roster spot, and if he laid an egg the last game? I think it's a high risk, it's a low risk, high reward type of thing because remember, we need shooting desperately. So if this man right here is able to go lights out again like he did last game, then listen, if you can get a couple of good games like that from a shooter, that'll help you win games. And he's not a star player, and he's not paid like one. So you're not expecting him to be a great shooter every game, but if he can give you some spot up shooting here and there, I think it's worth the risk for sure. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. He said, regardless of if Russ comes off the bench or not, for basketball fit purposes, the real question is if Russ is going to finish the game with the starters regardless. That's what we need to focus on. Well, that's what he needs to focus on, because if he plays good, then I have no problem with whoever finishes, but they need to be playing their best. Again, we're going with what Darvin Ham's been saying, man, facts over feelings, right? So that means that the fact of the matter is whoever's playing the best during the course of the game is probably going to get the best chance at finishing. And that's exactly, that is exactly what I want from a coach. I want a coach that holds everybody A to Z accountable. Even the coaching staff, they hold themselves accountable. They'll take the blame. Last year, one thing I hated about Frank Vogel, or one of many things I hated about Frank Vogel, is that this man would blame the players. Like, he would go small ball and we get out rebounded, and he would say, there's not enough effort. It's not about size, it's about effort. No, it's a combination, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a combination. So you got to get your stuff right. Shout out to Joseph for the Cash App, who says, for love Christie, but just a liability offensively. I agree, and I am surprised to see him starting this late in the preseason finale, but there must be a method to coach's madness. Maybe he's getting his confidence up, and he might not get a lot of PT in the regular season, or he might shock the world and play major minutes this year. So I'm excited either way. I love young talent, and I like to see them grow. Keep an eye out on that kid. He's hungry. I like his hunger and his passion. Ryan said, Dan, nice work on TMZ, bro. He said, keep hustling, putting out fire, and I see big things for you, my man. Thanks, Ryan. God bless, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. He said, I'm just tuning in. Do you love, like, or hate Russell Westbrook coming off the bench? I love it, Jabari. I love it. We've been asking for accountability. And he played like crap the last game, and right away, coach, he snatched him immediately. And the body language is questionable. I'll say that because I don't want Russ fans to make this about me versus Russ. But I'll say his body language was questionable the last game, at the very least, right? And that's me being kind. He said, hey, Dan, I'm just, I already read that. He said, y'all got to go easy on D Ham. This is preseason. Got to find the real rotations now. Listen, I love what he's doing so far, to be honest with you. And another thing I've noticed about him is whenever the game starts getting away, my man Darvin Ham starts calling that timeout, and he tries to put it back, within working order, meaning that we're not going to allow it to get away like we did last season. So I liked all of that stuff, man. He said, we need to trade Russ, not keep him on the bench. I'm sure they're already trying, William. They tried all summer long, but I'm over the whole trade Russ topic. When it happens, it'll happen. And I'll be here cheering if it does happen for a good trade, for good pieces, and we got a fair deal out of it. But more than just trading them, we need to get pieces that are going to fit if we do trade them, right? And we also need not to hamper our entire future for a couple of role players. So I agree. Listen, I understand your sense of urgency, William. But we got to make the right trade if we're going to make it, right? If not, we're probably better suited, bringing him off the bench. A lot is going to depend on if he buys in, right? If it's true that he has a good personality and all this stuff, then it might work out. I've always said Russ off the bench would be solid because those games when LeBron and AD didn't play last season were Russell Westbrook's best games, which means that he might be so much better without those guys on the court. And so, listen, if we got a spark plug off the bench to go with the other spark plugs, and then you got a great starting lineup, it's going to translate into wins. And that's the ultimate goal, is to win. It's not about us versus Russ. It's about Russ, you buy in or you buy out. Which one is it going to be? And if you buy out, I'm pretty damn sure they're going to trade him. There's already rumors. Again, they're circulating. Woj and Shams talking about the Lakers picking up the phones again soon to making trade calls for Russ. So, again, I'm so sick of the rumors that I'm just going to roll with the punches and see what this team can do now. If that trade comes and it's a good one, then I will definitely welcome it, and we'll be here breaking it down live when it happens. So, but for now, this is what we've been dealt, man. This is the team we got and the starting lineup tonight. And I want to know more about what you guys think of the starting lineup. Do you guys like it? Again, Austin Reeves, I would love for him and Patrick Beverley to start in the backcourt. So this is our first look at that backcourt that I've been clamoring for since the offseason. And then Max Christie, LeBron, and Damian Jones. What do you guys think of that starting lineup? And what would you guys change? That's the real question. He said, I've already bet 10K and the Lakers don't make the playoffs. Oh man, you're about to lose that 2K, Noah. You're about to lose that 2K, man. And I hate when Laker fans lose their money. But come on, man. You shouldn't have done that. He said, if both Ryan and Swider shoot great tonight, which one would you pick for the last roster spot if you're a GM, Dan? Well, that's just the thing. They don't have to make that decision, bro. Because one is on a two-way contract, and he can play up to 45 games before you have to make a decision of sending him back down to the G League or guarantee his contract, right? So you don't have to make that decision right now. And the other one currently has a contract, a one-year deal, Matt Ryan, but it's non-guaranteed, so he can get cut at any point. So I think the Lakers are intrigued by him, but I think they definitely need to see another performance like the one they saw versus Golden State. Yeah, Max Christie, nah, he's a rookie. Also, you're not happy with him starting? The Laker Nation, we have a great coach. I believe so too, Gabriel. I've been on the record as saying many times from the moment we acquired him that I have a great feeling about this guy for everything, for everything he's done so far. And I haven't been disappointed by him. The most disappointing thing was that he gave a small ball a shot, right? And he might still go with that for some games, but I do like that he's taking players accountable and he's trying different things out. And this is the time to try it all out. Preseason. I want something set. After the first 5 games, I want to have a set rotation. So hopefully that can happen. But I know that injuries are going to factor into all this. I know it. I just know it. He said, God forbid if LeBron goes down, how many more games will the Lakers win? Listen, Noah, it's the same thing for any other team around the league. If Curry goes down, good luck to the Warriors, even though they got guys who can step up. Right? But, if Kevin Durant goes down for the Nets, Giannis for the Bucks, everybody struggles without their superstars, right? So what I am hoping, though, is that he will be missing games for sure this season. And those other guys need to be able to step up and at least give us a chance, right, to compete for those wins. Because if we're getting blown out, that's a problem. That means we're not ready and we don't have the right tools for this season, right? Because we're going to need to win games without Bron. He's like, let's get 600 likes, yo. Yes, I like the spirit, man. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you, Jordan Smith. Always, man. Shout out to everybody up in here. He said, Max got a jumper. Max Christie is still very raw. I like the form and everything. He looks great. But he's rushing it right now. Once the game starts slowing down for him, I think a lot of those shots will start falling. He has a very high arcing shot. He almost touches the sky, when he shoots it, which is a good thing, right? It's a good thing. At least it's not flat and ugly. But he is rushing the shot still. He's missing some really makeable layups, and his decision-making on the offensive end has been questionable, to say the least. Still, though, defensively is why he has been earning these minutes, and I am curious to see if it's going to translate to regular season, or is, like my man right here saying, JTA going to take his minutes, or Troy Brown Jr. Like, I don't know what to expect right now. Coach has me surprised by everything he's done so far. So hopefully it ends up being a pleasant surprise, right? Listen, if it translates to wins, I won't be a happy camper no matter what. I don't care if Russ starts or comes off the bench, even though I prefer him off the bench. But as long as everything translates to wins, that's what I want. But I am excited to see how everybody reacts to this big news of him coming off the bench. And of course, no AD tonight. So how will we adapt? Who's going to step up? And we're missing a couple players again. We haven't been healthy all preseason. So that is unfortunate, but injuries, unfortunately, are a part of the game. And we have able bodies that can step in and have big games. So that's the good news. Any final questions before I get off, man? Any final questions before I get off? He said, it irks me that we have to play a guy like Christie to get wing depth. Front office needs to do his job. I mean, that's a fair point. We do need some more wing depth for sure. There's not a lot of guys you could just snatch up out there, right? Not a lot of guys you could just, pull up and grab them. Hey, 123, she said, hey, D, can't wait for the season to start. Me neither. I'm extremely excited for Tuesday. Can't come quick enough, but I'm glad we do have some Lakers basketball to dive into tonight. And again, let's see what the rotations look like. What are the adjustments Darvin Ham makes tonight? Are we going to stick with Russ off the bench? Like, so many question marks. And it's probably one of the most interesting, exciting seasons in a while for Lakers. So definitely stay tuned for all things Lakers. You guys know where to find me. It's going to wrap it up for my pregame, though. If the game is really good, you guys know the drill. I'm too excited. I need to talk to you guys. And so I will do a halftime report. If for some reason it's, displeasing or just one of those snoozer type games where it gets out of hand early, then, I'll wait to do it in the post game. I'm sure I could, collect more information and stuff like that for you guys. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to smack the like button on your way out because it truly helps the channel. And I'll see you guys right here for the post game recap, man. Enjoy the game. Go Lakers, baby. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.